This time on Patriot Games, Tommy and Justin have a grudge to settle with the iconic Tats Finke Desert Race.
The dust.
Okay, you can't see, Tom, call it.
We're going to hang on, man.
And some die-hard Patriot campers owners make the pilgrimage to watch the boys race one of the most dangerous and epic off-road races in the world. It's time to send it.
We're nearly home.
That's an absolute mess, dude.
Sheet metal was my livelihood, but I never thought I'd be building gear like this. Every week, we turn tons of steel into rolling works of art. Some of the toughest gear in the world comes out of this factory. Building this gear is only half the fun. No one tests like we do.
Go, girl. Woo-hoo! One more. Yes.
What just happened?
Well done, buddy. My passion has taken my family to the edges of the earth. Life's a game. We know how to play it. Patriot Games.
Justin, Tommy and Dave are on their way back to the heart of the Australian outback to once again take on the epic and treacherous Finke Desert Race. The boys are travelling in the mighty Super Ram on their way to meet up with Team Polaris, where they'll pick up the buggy that they'll race to Finke and back.
Finke's a pretty emotional race, and until you've done it and experienced it firsthand, I don't think you could understand it, and you definitely couldn't explain it to anybody. What it takes to get out here into the middle of Australia is a feat on its own, with all the team, the race gear, the preparation that goes into it, the sacrifice that everybody makes just to drive a car 230 kilometres down a dirt road. Now, to a lot of people, that's not going to make a lot of sense. It's like climbing Mount Everest. You know, to get to Finke and back is one of those bucket list items. We know what we're going to go through and what we're going to put ourselves through, but that's the reason we've come back to do it all again.
When I finished the race last year and I flew out of Mount Isa, I said I'd never do it again because of the emotion that goes through you know, and the physical strain on your body. Coming back, I was so pumped to be here. I couldn't wait to get back in the buggy and start racing.
The Super Ram's headlights light up the road as the boys pre-run the dirt track ahead of race day. Tommy is Justin's second set of eyes, and memorising the track is as important as steering.
What do you reckon, Tom? Feel good to be back?
Yeah, I do feel very good to be back.
What do you think of this stuff, Dave?
This is gnarly.
You haven't seen this yet, eh?
No, this is the first time I've seen this.
This is the stuff that comes up and bites you real quick, huh?
Yeah.
After all the drama we had with our car last year, we didn't get a chance to do recon. It seemed like we spent the 3 or 4 days prior to the race in the shed just making sure that the car was okay. But this year was going to be completely different.
These are deep, man.
Yeah.
These are real deep.
Yeah.
I was blown away. You think you know what you're expecting until you go on that track, and then it hits home how intense that is.
This year we've got a completely different rhythm, man, because we're in a long wheelbase this year.
Yeah.
So the rhythm that we had last year is not going to be the same. It's going to be completely different. I've got to learn to drive that car again.
Yeah.
Last year, we drove the track completely blind. Tommy and I didn't get a chance to make it down there and see what the conditions are like. Now, there's hazard posts and turn signals all the way down the track, but the trick is knowing the pace of the car and how quick you can go through them. When you don't know what's on the other side, obviously you err on the side of caution, you'll let the gas off, and that's where you lose most of your time.
Driving the track at low speeds is perfect for identifying potential hazards. But where the race buggy will traverse the track in the blink of an eye, the Super Ram isn't quite as nimble.
Dude, this looks nasty.
Maybe don't want to be hitting this at pace, eh?
No. Oh, well, if my navvy was good and was confident on what was on the other side, I'll listen to you, Tom. You tell me to hold the throttle on, I'll hold it
I
on.
remember last year there was so many people here.
Yeah.
You knew something was bad on the other side.
You knew something was bad. All right, well, let's check this out. So we're coming up on the left. Oh. Big girls look going up there, right?
Big girl.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to need low range here.
If the boys were here right now, that's what would be happening. In the
They just say send it,
Just
Dad.
send it, Dad.
Just send it, Dad. Come on, darling.
Kenny,
Let's
right.
go. There she goes. Good girl.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so Crest's all good.
So crest is all good. So stay left. And we can keep the gas into it. Let's have a quick look. Come and have a look, boys.
Looks steep.
I'll come right off the gas for that if I can't see what's on the other side.
Yeah,
But
well,
if you're keeping those notes, mate, you need to tell me just to keep into it. Because we can hit that wide open because there's nothing here, man. This is why what we're doing today is so important. The pre-running, knowing the track, knowing where all the hazards are, trying to pick some of your lines. And of course, with 230 kilometres, you're not going to remember everything, but it's Tommy's job as my navigator to keep all of those pace notes and keep us as fast as we can in the sections that we know we can get through quick.
The boys have been pre-running the track since first light, and it's time to stop for brekkie. There's hundreds of competitors flying by, and it's not long before a familiar sound grabs Justin's attention.
You know what would make my morning right now? Toby Price coming through here wide open. And what do you know? Not even 5 minutes later, I could hear a KTM 500 revving in the distance, and we thought this has got to be someone quick. Jesus, he is flying, dude. Now, for those people who don't know who Toby Price is, he's actually an off-road living legend, and he's a good mate of ours as well. Now, we've actually built him this year, one of our toy hauler platforms, just to haul his trophy truck as a recovery trailer in the event that the worst happens and he needs to get the car off the track. Now, Toby Price has won Finke, I think 4 or 5 times, and he's also won the Paris to Dakar.
I've seen Toby around the workshop, but to actually see him in action on that bike, I couldn't believe it. He was one with the bike.
It's been a long morning of studying the track to Finke, and the team head back to Polaris Base Camp just outside of Alice. Polaris have radioed ahead, and the new race car is ready.
There it is, boys.
Oh my God. That looks so good.
What do you reckon? Does that look good or what?
Mate.
Let's, yeah. There's Nate. Let's go check it out, eh?
Jeez.
How you going, Nate?
Good, how are we, guys?
Good to see you again, man. How you been?
Good, mate.
Yeah,
How are you?
been good?
Yep, all good. All pumped, ready to go.
Dude, looks awesome, huh?
Yeah.
Mate.
He's all set up, ready to go. 4-seater, a lot longer, a lot wider.
Yep.
Harder, faster.
Harder,
Good to go.
faster, the whole 9 yards.
That's what you wanted.
Pulling up in the big Ram, seeing the car sitting there was an awesome moment. Nathan from Polaris is back this year as well to help us out. It's going to be a good year. This looks awesome. Look at the track on it.
Yeah.
72-inch wide now too, huh?
He's a monster.
Man, that is wide in the front.
Yeah.
Like real wide in the front.
Seeing that car today for the first time, I lost my mind. That just looked like it needed to be on the podium. It looks amazing. It is honestly, it looks on point.
So we got 2 Australian champs and us.
And the best.
And no excuses this year because we got the right car.
That's it.
No excuses.
90%, yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Dude,
That is it.
we're back.
I feel very comfortable.
Back at Finke, boys.
Yeah.
It's late afternoon before the boys are in the seat of their Polaris race car, so it'll be a long night of prep before the first day of testing tomorrow. After a long, freezing night in the desert, the Patriot campers team wake with just a few tweaks left before today's test run. Justin's about to get a welcome surprise from the fam.
Last year, we missed out on all the fun. This year, nope. We got in the car, the kids, myself, and the Patriot Convoy, and we headed out to Finke.
Have we got the first aid kit?
In there.
Hi.
Hello. What's going on, buddy? How are you? Hello, darling. Good to see you.
You all ready?
What's going on, Miss Boots? Good. You looking good. How are you? What's happening? What do you think of that car?
This car looks awesome, and I've noticed it matches the Ding Desert boat. This car looks race ready.
We're about to take it out and wear some belts in. You want to come with me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
You come for a ride with me first.
Yep.
And then everybody can have a turn. You excited?
Yes.
Excited about Finke?
Really cool.
Awesome.
Awesome. Good stuff.
So cool.
I can't wait to have a ride in this race car. I call shotgun.
With limited time before testing, the twins help Dave finish up the race prep, and it looks like Sarah will be the first to test the car with Justin.
Racing isn't just about the race car. It's about bringing the whole family together, meeting different people, having different crews around you. But this year at Finke, I get to have my kids out here. Sarah's out here to watch. I hope we do well.
You're not going to kill me, right?
There's no guarantees in a race car, but all sorts of things happen. Okay.
So I'm no stranger getting into a Polaris buggy, but I've got to say, getting put in there, strapped in race mode, is very claustrophobic, and I got a bit nervous.
It was pretty cool to have the whole family at the test track that day. Now, we're just wearing in belts, so we're taking it nice and easy, but they got to have that little taste of what it's like in the race car. The vibrations, the sounds, how quickly those corners come up on you. Fun part's out the way. Now it's time to get serious. Me and Tommy are gonna suit up and take it down to the test track.
Justin and the boys followed Team Polaris out to the nearby testing track where it all went bad for Justin and Tommy.
Welcome back. This place brings back bad memories. Oh yeah. Bad memories. This is where it all went pear-shaped last year.
Bad belt memories.
Very bad memories.
Now, today's about two things. Number one, we want to see what the belt's doing with the temperature. But number two, and most importantly, set the shocks up that we can get over the whoops as fast as possible.
The biggest thing I want to see today is the high pace over those whoops and see exactly how the Polaris is going to perform at high speed.
All right, how you feeling? Yeah, good. Good? You? Yep.
Justin and Tommy take it one lap at a time, pulling into the pits where Spanners waits to check the car after each run.
All right, Tommy, call what you say, Dad. All right, mate. We keep it. We've got some long straights. Got a easy right.
It's been 12 months since I sat in that seat next to Justin, and it felt like home.
Keep it on. That's it, that's it. That's it. That's it, dude. Keep it dialed in. Keep it down. Can't hang on, dude.
With one lap down, the car just isn't feeling right, and Justin pulls in to give the feedback to Spanners.
We're way too soft, man. We're way too soft. It feels too saddled. It's not. It's not twitchy enough. You know what I mean? It's not responsive.
Seeing the first run, my thoughts were exactly as come over the radio from Justin. It's not right. It's kicking everywhere. Quick, let's get it in so I can make some fine tunes. We'll go high speed adjustment. We'll do your high speed up to hard, leave the low speed where it is. Go to fully stiff, and then we're backing off one. So Justin will go out and test. He'll back it off one till he feels good.
No, that's hard and cold. That's probably what's fun. There's only one click from the top.
Justin reckons it felt really soft.
Yeah, okay.
So what's... Both.
As it stands, that's bloody soft because you got, what's that, 250 pound and...
What he just said, this buggy was doing motocross tracks before here, so they were set up to be quite soft. It doesn't look like you got a lot of extra height in the front.
Well, bottoming out over everything, eh?
Right.
The Polaris pit crew assist as Spanners adjusts the height of the springs. Hopefully this fixes the car's unpredictable handling.
Yep, just keep it straight.
You've got this. You've got this. That's nice. What's that speed? It's 80. 80. 80. Keep it in.
How did you feel over those whoops? Because you were throwing like this.
Yeah, I was skipping.
Yeah.
And I wasn't skipping before.
It's really fast paced when these guys are out there trying to tune and get the right feel behind these buggies. Now, they come in, I've dove into the suspension. I've got the Evans Racing boys, they're in there too, helping me, making adjustments. We're lifting the car up. We're going balls to the wall.
Those whoops look nasty.
I wasn't pulling Justin back today because I really wanted him to test his limits and the car.
It's a laborious process of trial and error as the Patriot pit crew try to dial in the car. After one last attempt at hitting the high-speed section of the testing track, the boys finally find the problem.
What do you know? Welcome to racing. I've got a call from Justin. Something's not right.
What's wrong?
That shock's leaking bad.
That one that was weeping?
Yep.
How bad is it? Like rebuild bad?
Like rebuild, put it on. get back and rebuild it.
We got scrutineering in, what, 5 hours, Dave?
From the moment I stepped into the car this morning, I knew something wasn't quite right. We've been playing with the suspension all day, but Dave has now found the actual problem. We've got a leak in 2 of the shocks. This could have been a disaster on race day.
After diagnosing the leaking shock, Justin and Spanners find a local mechanic who confirms their suspicion. With scrutineering just hours away, the boys get straight to work so they don't miss out on the necessary safety checks and driver sign-in. Race weekend is about to begin.
This is cool, huh?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a rock star or what?
Sitting in the car with Dad, I really did feel like a rock star.
There's an eerie calm over Camp Patriot as the sunrise ushers in the start of the 2018 Finke Desert Race weekend. With the car dialed in and scrutineering done, Justin, Tommy and Spanners prepare for day 1, Prologue.
All right, so testing's done. Today's the first start of the race. We're at Prologue. Now, Prologue determines your starting position for the race, and if you want to get in front of the dust, this is where you need to make the good time.
I've worked on the Polaris tirelessly. It hasn't stopped. I haven't stopped. Now it's all up to the track and the boys. Let's see how they do.
That wind is blowing straight onto the track. See it?
Yeah, so you're going to catch it.
It's going to be a dust bowl, dude.
Put the nervous chatter aside, boys. It's go time.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Tommy, call what you say, Dad.
All right, mate. We keep where we've got some long straights. Pick the lines, remember the lines. Stay in the track, keep the lines. We've got a hard right.
All that shock work's starting to pay off. We're going through the turns, the car's settled, we're feeling good.
Bit in left. Hit the bump. Get to right. It feels like a hard left. Coming up.
And then a couple of turns in, bang, something happened. The steering wheel just froze up and I couldn't turn the car in.
Left.
I've lost power steering.
Hard left hazard.
I've got no steering.
All of a sudden, it all went wrong. Justin's screaming at me, telling me the power steering's gone. We've done a tyre. It was all hands on deck. All I had to do was keep him motivated.
Keep fighting it.
I've got nothing.
All right, keep going, dude. We're doing good. Bumps. Whoops. Okay, whoops.
Losing the power steering is one of the worst things that could possibly happen. The car freezes up and it feels like the steering wheel weighs 15 tonnes. Now, the problem with that is trying to turn the car in and out of these corners.
Keep it going, dude. Hang on, man. We're nearly home. Nearly home. All right. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. Come on, mate. Come on.
I'm going.
Now, even the weight on the steering wheel, I'm battling through it. There's not a lot I can do about it. I've got to get this car over the finish line and I've got to do it in a good time. I knew our time wasn't too good, and on the way back into the pits, I pushed the button one more time, and what do you know? Power steering clicked straight in. That's what this is all about. I kept pushing the button, kept trying to reset, nothing. We had to drive that whole track with no power steering. All right, you good?
Yeah, we're good.
Have a safe drive.
The boys shake off a disappointing prologue time and say goodbye to Sarah and the Patriot team who are off to Camp Finke. This ain't just any Camp Finke. This is Camp Finke, Patriot style.
So Prologue is done. We've got to head down to Camp Finke. We've got all the Patriot owners with us. Big night ahead.
Now, what kind of lunatics would take a last-minute trip thousands of kilometres from home to the middle of the desert just to watch Justin and Tommy race? Everyone, meet the Patriot Campers owners.
Well, the adventure begins. We're letting the tyres down. We've got the convoy in line. Our Patriot families come and joined us as well. We've got people coming from SA, Vic, NT, all the way to come out here and enjoy the whole experience with us. Myself, Sarah and the kids are leading the pack. Let's head to Finke.
Graham, I don't know what you were talking about when you said it was difficult finding a camp spot.
I can't even see a place where there isn't one. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I think we've got our choices out there, plenty of them.
Hi, I'm Graham. I'm from Camping Adventures. We're the Victorian and Tasmanian distributor for Patriot Campers, and we're here in Alice Springs for the Finke Desert Race. It was really exciting for me as I'm able to share this moment with my family. So my son Zach, he was in the car with me. My daughter was driving the Jeep behind us with my wife Kim. A really family environment, one that I know that Justin and Sarah, are really big on as lifestyle and why they've created this brand, this product is all about lifestyle. And
When you're not in a race buggy, the trip from Alice to Finke can be slow going, especially when you're relying on Michael's shortcuts. Let's hope that Justin's navigator Tommy is a little better than Sarah's navigator Michael.
Well, on any trip you do, there's always something that goes wrong or there's some funny thing that happens. And in our case, in this trip from Alice to Finke, it was Michael, great bloke, love him to death, but fair dinkum, mate, you really have to know how to navigate a lot better.
So how are we feeling about Michael's directions? They're shocking.
Hey, hang on, but look at where we are.
It's scenic.
It's very scenic. I always take the scenic route.
We've had one right turn.
Thank goodness you're not Justin's navigator. I'm going to show you what we're dealing with here. Wouldn't have been worth the trip out, guys.
I think Tommy's job is safe.
I feel like we're on the Finke track now.
I think we are on the Finke track. You said you wanted to race, Sarah. I've just taken you here.
You're either going to have a nickname called Maps, Nav Man, Nav something, but from now on, you're never going to live it down.
Yeah, let's go with Maps, Graham. The Finke Desert Race attracts the most die-hard, well-intentioned fans, some of whom aren't exactly driving desert-ready trucks. Wait a minute, is that a high-ace commuter bus?
Guys, we've just come up against someone that's bogged and blocking the track. We might have to get out and give him a bit of a hand, okay?
All right, mate, all right. I'll come on up and give him a hand.
What's going on?
Hey, mate, how you going? I've just run into a bit of mischief. I'm Jack.
G'day, mate, Michael. Geez, you have got yourself bogged.
Yeah, there was a bloke broken down on the good side of the road to drive on.
Yeah.
So I had to veer over into the soft stuff, and yeah, obviously she's only a little two-wheel drive and got stuck.
You on the way to Finke too?
On the way to Finke, yeah.
Awesome, mate. Well, we've got max tracks on the top. We'll grab them out and we'll get you out of here.
That'd be extremely appreciated.
Awesome.
Better than the odd rock.
The Patriot Convoy are well equipped for a bogging like this one, and the whole crew swing into action.
Get him to drive it out.
All right. If you just want to jump in the car,
right,
we'll just get you slowly moving forward just enough to get the wheels turning to pick up the max tracks and try not to spin and we'll get you out.
Beautiful, that'd be extremely appreciated.
And then just keep the momentum going.
Mate, we thought we were getting into Finke before the dark, but we come across a bit of a stranded fellow and we thought we'd better try and help him out.
Go! Go!
Keep going! Keep going!
Give me help!
See you in Finke! Who expected this?
Good job.
Okay, let's go.
Let's take it out of here.
Well, I come out here to watch the race cars, look after our campers and our owners, but turns out I got more than I bargained for and now I'm digging people out of the sand. But what can I say? This is Finke.
After an eventful day of wayward navigation and bogged rental vans, the Camp Finke Convoy finally make it to camp. It's time to set up for the night and enjoy the clear, starry skies over Finke. Tomorrow, this little town comes alive.